If you scroll through social media, car living can look like a glamorous adventure. You see young people in custom vans, sleeping by the beach, waking up in the desert. This video is not that. My name is Summer. I'm 45 years old, and I live in my 2013 Prius V in Denver, Colorado. I didn't choose this for a fun internet trend. My divorce chose it for me. When my life was completely turned upside down, the financial math of traditional renting just did not work for me. I was faced with a choice: sink into debt to afford an apartment I would barely see, or swallow my pride, move into my car, and fight for a future. I work a grueling 6-day night shift week. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what my mobile home looks like on a normal, unedited day after a long shift. It's less than perfect, it's very messy, but it's real life. This is it. This is more than just the front seat of my car. It's my mobile living room, my office, and a little bit of storage space. It's where I decompress after my shifts before I go to bed, where I eat my meals, and where I keep my stuff. I have my lunch pail where I take my work food, my backpack where I keep things that I take with me when I need to go to places to use the bathroom. It all sits on top of my boring green tub where I keep extra supplies. Behind my backpack, I have a seat holder that has lots of little pockets for I've got trash bags, I've got cleaning wipes, I've got paper towels, I've got all the little things that I need to stay alive. My backpack is very important. It's where I keep a lot of things that I need. I have my tablet in there that I use to edit videos and get on the internet. I also have to the side there that little black bag I keep shampoo, soap, that sort of stuff in so that I can take a proper shower at the gym. I've got my little holder down here that's got my bag of various wires, cords, plugs to keep everything charged as needed. And down there is my little cubby console with various junk that I need. I just toss it in there and I'm good to go. It's messy, it's not the cleanest, but it's home. Coming up from the side. Currently have my laundry basket because I just did laundry. And one of my big fans. Got the bed there. Look at that a little better. Right there is my my front seat. I keep a sweater hung over the back, just in case I need it. Down here we've got this out of the way. So down here is my dirty laundry bag. Where I keep dirty laundry when I need it. I have another hanger here. It keeps things like sleeping eye mask, some cleaning cloths if I need to. Got an umbrella, some deodorizing wipes, in case I need those. A few little essentials. I've got trash bags, of course. Down here I've got, this is making better curtains for my windows currently, but I'm not done yet. Underneath my laundry bag, I have emergency toilet. Underneath the head of my bed here, I have my Jackery. I have my gym shoes currently because I am changing out my gym bag. And I have my refrigerator. It's not really a refrigerator. It is a Innovation. The only thing it does is it has a hot or a cold feature. It is currently at the moment empty. I'm not currently using it for anything, but I can plug it into my Jackery, or if need be, it plugs into my car, or I can also plug it into my Jackery there if I need be. So when I have cold groceries, that is my cold storage, and it fits just perfectly between my front seat and that, and I can barely open it, but you know, sometimes barely is good enough. Underneath my bed I have, these are two of the blinds that I am using, as well as an extra bed for an extra blanket for storage. And then every time I get into bed, welcome summer, just feels cozy. And this is the view from the back. Obviously I have my bed there, I have a extra sheet, an extra blanket that I just kind of keep rolled up as need be. Alright, so I have this duffel bag here. That is where my laundry normally goes. I need to put that away. I have a little light right here that I can use to, you know, light up the space when it's dark. I have jeans, clothes. Clearly need to finish putting my laundry away. I have, this bag is for specifically, right now I'm using it for socks, undergarments, that sort of thing. I have a extra fuzzy blanket that I use during the winter. Don't really need it right now. Right here, I have an inflatable mattress that I was originally sleeping on, but not currently at the moment. The bed I am using right now, if I can, no, I can't find it. The bed I'm using right now comes with this lovely little bag. It is the X-Ped inflatable bed. Got this neat little self-inflating, but it comes with this little thing here to like top it off if I need to. And this whole thing is right in there. Alright, right here. Let's start right here. I've got quart and sandwich bags that I just got new ones of. Got my little bento box here that I can take food in. Underneath is an open dry storage. So this is for food and such. So I got Gatorade because it gets hot, you always need stuff. And I've got all my dry foods in there that I mostly live off of. And I just snap this shut, good to go. climbing further in. Summer from the future here. I was editing and realized that the video cut off halfway through that I had recorded. So, as I said, climbing in the back. This is my kitchen tub. I just open that up. It's kind of crowded back here right at the moment. But this is where I keep kitchen stuff. So I've got a mat, I've got a cutting board. I've got, these are dishes. Got a little percolator that plugs in. It has a car thing. I've got various cooking pots. I made sure to get stuff that all either will plug into my car or that I can plug into my Jackery. So this is how I cook my meals. And then I just snap, put it all away. And done. Another thing that I do for storage, I have this little tab right here that folds this up. And you can see right there, got a little handle that I can pop. That leads to the under storage, which is hard to get into at the moment. But that's where I've got like sweaters, my coats, and my winter gear. It's just kind of hard to get into. Alright, and then coming around, shit happens. To the passenger side. This is the other side of my bed. So I got my work vest right here. This is Mail Carriers Union. I just throw that right there. So when I sleep, I've got the cord to this. I usually just kind of tuck under here. It fits just fine. I don't have anything really back here other than the fridge, because it's the way the Prius works is down under here is the vent for the battery, so that's a pain. So when I do need to use my fridge here, just go here in my mattress, I lift this up, and then I pull this up, and there's my fridge. Right now it's empty. I got a couple of ice things in it, but that is how to keep food. It only has a cold and a hot setting, so it's not particularly useful, but it works temporarily. Put this down. This. Good to go. Hello. It is around 7 o'clock in the morning. I just got off work half an hour ago and I'm tired. My back hurts. I'm sitting in the parking lot of a nearby library that doesn't open for 2 more hours, but I just wanted to park somewhere quiet and I guess get to this part of the video. Why do I live in my car? Short story is I got divorced and living in the car was cheaper. Long story. After 13 and a half years, the man I considered my soulmate
told me he wanted a divorce. That was my 45th birthday present. Told me that he didn't love me, that he hadn't loved me for a very long time. Told me that he didn't love me, that he hadn't loved me in a very long time. And when I asked why he married me, he said, "Because I thought I could put up with you." Happy 45th birthday. We had moved to Denver a few years prior to this. We had lived in Texas for about 10 years. Just making ends meet, nothing big, living in, little apartments and eating lots of beans and rice to survive. And then he landed the ability to get a promotion that would lead to his dream job. And so we jumped on it. Moved here to Denver. That job ended up falling through, but it gave him experience, and he took time to train, to get some certificates, and managed to, at a different company, then land his dream job, which was amazing. We went from barely scraping by to he more than doubled his income. We suddenly had more money than we know what to do with. And then he bought a house. We put the whole thing in his name because, he had better credit. He had less debts attached to his name. So we bought a car, bought this house, picked out a gorgeous little house in the foothills of the mountains. I painted the kitchen sage green. He took me to this amazing little antique furniture store, and I got this desk and this hutch that was, from the 1800s, this gorgeous antique furniture, this big antique dresser for the bedroom. We were fixing up the house, was turning it into what I thought was our forever home. We were planning, a vacation. We suddenly had the kind of life that not a lot of people have. And that lasted about 6 months. We had we bought the house and started getting it settled about 6 months before my birthday. And he got me a cake with sprinkles. And that was that. So, I work the night shift. I work for the United States Postal Service. I am still very low on the totem pole. People that have been there for a very long time, that have progressed, make really good money. I'm still very low on the totem pole, so I don't make a lot of money. Like, it's good money if I lived somewhere else, but the cost of living in Denver is so high that it's not enough. Actually, kind of make below minimum wage, because there is a whole thing. Denver increased the local minimum wage. Like, federal is still $7.25, but I don't know if it's like for Denver City or Denver County. It's not for all of Colorado, because I know there are places that still pay like $17 or whatever. So for whatever Denver City, Denver County, whatever the thing is, they increased it to $19.25, and I make $19. So, like I said, it's good money if I lived somewhere else, anywhere else. That would be more than enough to be comfortable on. But cost of living in Denver is very high, and can't afford to move somewhere else. So, alright, so how did I come up with the idea to live in my Prius? Kind of car living wasn't something unheard of. I'd known people for like years that did like RV living. I knew a guy, like, before I ever even met my husband. I knew a guy that lived in an RV, and he made apps and made money off of that, and he just like drove around the country. I had way back, again, before I met my husband, I had always wanted to do a schoolie, which, like, people, there's this thing, schoolies, people buy old retired school buses, like the big yellow buses, and convert them into these giant custom, basically RVs. Because it's a school bus, it's much larger than a typical RV, and because you're doing all the work yourself, it's completely custom to exactly how you want it. And it tends to be a lot cheaper because you're DIYing it. The cost of the school bus tends to be really low. They sell, when they retire out a bus and get new ones in, they sell them for pretty cheap. So that had always been kind of a dream, I guess. One that I had, tossed aside. With the price of gas and diesel right now, none of that was going to happen. That was just not a plan. I didn't own the Prius yet when he told me about the divorce. We were sharing one car. We'd done that for years, mostly because we couldn't afford two cars. But we had, more money now. He had bought a all-electric car. We had paid to have someone come and set up a charger system in the garage, so no gas whatsoever. We were charging it every night, and it worked out fine. His schedule was very flexible, and things worked out fine. So it wasn't a problem until the divorce. I had originally was looking for a all-electric car myself for this if I was going to move out. Just, I don't want to buy gas. I don't want to, worry about exhaust leaks and everything. Unfortunately, looking around, the electric cars at that time that were for sale locally were either I could afford them, but they were so small there was no way I was going to live in it, or it was a larger car that I could live in, but I could not afford it. So I saw some online posts and videos, people talking about the Prius V. So I started looking for that and found quite a few for sale that were around what I could afford. So I had been looking at like 2 or 3 of them, and then I found this one for fairly cheap. It's got like 186,000 miles, but it's a Toyota, as long as you take care of it, keep up with your maintenance, these things last forever. I like that it's big enough that I have a bed and everything. It doesn't hurt that I am only 5'3", so I can stretch all the way out back there, whereas a taller person might not be able to, but for me, it's no big deal. I don't even have my passenger seat all the way up, so I'm good. I like that it, is mostly electric. It uses the gas to run to power the electric battery to charge it back up. Or when I'm like accelerating or going up a hill or something, it uses a little bit of gas. So it's not terrible in gas use. There is a little bit of battery degradation. I mean, that's going to be pretty typical. The older an electric battery gets, the worse it is. So, I'm not getting as much battery life as, someone who bought a brand new Prius would be getting, but it is what it is. It's still decent enough. It's still, I'm not buying gas every 5 minutes. I can go a week, sometimes just half a week, where I have to buy gas, and I'm buying gas when I hit half a tank. I don't like to go below half a tank, and it kind of depends on, like, am I doing a lot of driving? Sometimes I have to go to a bunch of different places, and sometimes I just go from work to wherever I'm going to sleep and back again and don't do anything else. So I think the gas use is I'm definitely using less gas than if I didn't have a Prius, so it's fine. Yeah, I researched it. I decided that the Prius would work based on all the information I had found. I had originally planned, our original plan was that I was going to spend a solid 3 to 4 months putting my entire paycheck into savings. He said that he would make the car payments, so that I could put everything into savings. And then after 3 to 4 months, I would take that big chunk of savings and all in one go, move out, set the car up, whatever, and then I would pay him back. That ended up not happening. He just paid off the car in one go because he has that kind of money to do that now. He just decided to pay it off in just one go, and that was kind of the split in the divorce, because I didn't get the house, I didn't get the furniture, I didn't get anything. So I got the car, the Prius. He paid it off and then transferred it over to me, and that was my half of what I got. We had a pretty large fight. I found out that he was lying about some things of where he was going and what he was doing, and those lies had started before the divorce, and I could not stay in that house anymore. So it was kind of a very sudden and very unplanned transition. I left immediately that night, went to work, and never stayed there again. Had to go back a few times to pick up some things that I didn't have time to pack. He was also kind enough. He bought a few things for me that I had planned to get in the future that I did not have to help finish setting up to live in the car. But that was it. I have been full-time living in my car now for 2.5 months, which somehow doesn't feel like very long, and at the same time feels like a very long time. Yeah. So this is my messy car, my messy life. I don't know what comes next. Right now, my biggest plan, I guess, for the future, I'm putting all of the money that I would normally be spending on rent, just sticking that in my savings account. I would like to save up and get a bigger car, maybe a Toyota Sienna. That's kind of really looking nice right now, but I mean, that's going to be a couple years, 2-3 years away, so who knows what the plan will be then. Right now, I'm just sort of keep building up savings and trying to figure out how to survive. It's kind of a day-by-day process. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. I don't really consider it an adventure. I know that there are people who chose this and have built a life where this works for them. There's definitely some amazing people out there that are using living in their car to afford to travel and to go to amazing places, and they're young enough that, you know, bumps in the road don't hit as hard, or they can bounce back quicker. I am not having an adventure. I consider myself homeless. That's kind of controversial amongst people that live in their cars. Some people don't consider themselves homeless, and some people do. The difference seems to be, was it a choice or was it a necessity? And I am on the necessity side. So I have a bed. I have a way to keep cool. I have ways to keep warm when winter comes. And I have a job. I have food. That's certainly better than a lot of people have it. So I am grateful for what I have. I am grieving what I lost. And I am trying to figure out what comes next.